Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we are learning Nedarim page 56, which discusses a very detailed question regarding a person who makes a vow on not using a bed. So the law is that he's allowed to use something which in Hebrew is called a dargash. And it's such an uncommon word, it's a little bit difficult for us to be able to understand what it means. And therefore the Talmud goes back and forth trying to understand that perhaps it's referring to a particular bed that was not designated really for sleeping on, but it was put in people's homes in order to be able to give them mazel, to give them good luck. And then the Talmud ends up saying that can't be. And then because we have no other answer, we finally turn to the words of Rabbi. Rabbi said, I'll tell you the answer. And I'll tell you how I got to this answer too. He didn't just say the answer. He explains, I went to these rabbis, as well as this person by the name of Rav Tachlifa, and they were commonly found in the marketplace where people who make leather, those who make leather as well as they tan it and ultimately sell it. So we went up to them and said, what does this word dargash mean? And they were able to explain it was a particular type of bed, which in fact was made out of leather. And on that, the Talmud was completely satisfied that that is the correct answer. So the question is, if in fact all we're trying to do is to be able to get to what exactly the type of bed it is, and we now know the answer, why is it important for the Talmud to say that it was derived from these rabbis who happened to be going into a marketplace, and in that marketplace there were all these different workers, and one of those workers who make these leather beds explained, oh yeah, this is what the word dargash means. This is exactly what it refers to. Just tell us what the answer is. And the Talmud is telling us that it's not just important for us to know what the answer is, but also how we got that information. Because there is an expression in ethics of our fathers that someone who is wise is someone who learns from all people, which you would think is the opposite. You would think someone who is wise does not need to learn from anyone because they have acquired so much knowledge, they're able to stand on their own 2 feet. They're independent thinkers. They're educated individuals, and therefore they have no need to have to listen to anyone. But according to Judaism and the understanding of the Talmudic ways of thinking, it's the exact opposite. A person who truly has a thirst for knowledge and wisdom doesn't exclude any person from that process. It doesn't make a difference who they are. Whether they have a doctorate degree, maybe they never went to college, it doesn't make any difference what their formal education is, because they have life experience which is special and unique that you may not have. And therefore there is so much to learn from every single person. So much so that the Talmud here goes out of its way to say, you know what? This is how we were able to acquire this information. Because when they're walking around seemingly doing unimportant, unnecessary or mundane activities like walking around in a marketplace, the rabbis, because they were constantly thirsting to learn, constantly trying to acquire more knowledge, they always had their eyes and ears open to try to figure out and acquire new information. And that is the true definition of who a scholar is. Someone who doesn't just study from a book, someone that doesn't just say, okay, I graduated college and therefore my education is finished. Learning is a lifelong process, and a person who has that desire and thirst to learn will not just end when they get their degree. It continues throughout their life, but not only are they constantly learning and reading, but they're also learning from all people.